Hey YouTube, I'm gonna pick up these wars. Now the English traders Alexander Long and Eleazar Wigan instigated the attack through various deceptions and promises, although there had been pre-existing conflict between the Cherokee and Yushi. The traders' plot was based in the Cherokee town of Euphase, Great Hawassi. It mainly involved Cherokee from that town. Now, in May 1714, the Cherokee destroyed the Yushi town of Chistawi. Inhabitants not killed or captured fled to the creek or the Savannah River, Yushi. Long and Wigan told the Cherokee that the South Carolina government wished for and approved this attack, which was not true. The governor of South Carolina, having heard of the plot, sent a messenger to tell the Cherokee not to continue the attack on Yushi. The messenger arrived too late to save Chestoe. The Cherokee attack on the Yushi ended with Chestoe, but it was enough to catch the attention of every native tribe and European colony in the region. Thus, around 1715, the Cherokee emerged as a major regional power. The Yamasee War. In 1715, just as the Tuscarora War was winding down, the Yamasee War broke out. Numerous Indian tribes launched attacks on South Carolina. The Cherokee participated in some of the attacks, but were divided on which course to take. After South Carolina's militia succeeded in driving off the Yamasee and the Catawba, the Cherokee became strategically pivotal. Both South Carolina and the Lower Creek tried to gain Cherokee support. Some Cherokee favored an alliance with South Carolina and war on the Creek, while others favored the opposite. The impasse was resolved in January 1716 when a when a hold on when a Dell murdered all the Creek leaders in their sleep, thus precipitating that couldn't be right, y'all. Give me one moment. Okay. When a delegation of Creek leaders was murdered at the Cherokee town of Tougaloo. Subsequently, the Cherokee launched attacks against the Creek. In 1717, peace treaties between South Carolina and the Creek were completed, undermining the Cherokee's commitment to war. Hostility and sporadic raids between the Cherokee and Creek continued for decades. These raids came to a head at the Battle of Tallowa in 1755, present-day Ball Ground, Georgia, with the defeat of the Muskogee Creek. Oh wow, I just passed through Muskogee Creek. The Creek had already withdrawn most of their towns from what is now North Georgia to create a buffer zone between themselves and the Cherokee. In 1721, the Cherokee made their first land cession to the British, selling the South Carolina colony a small strip of land between the Saluda, Santee, and Edisto rivers. In 1730, at Nikwasi, Mortoy of Tellico was chosen as emperor by the elders of the principal Cherokee towns. Sir Alexander Cumming had requested this to gain control over the Cherokee. Mortoy agreed to recognize King George II of Great Britain as the Cherokee protector. Right. 7 prominent Cherokee, including Atakula, traveled with Sir Alexander Cumming to England. The Cherokee delegation stayed in London for 4 months. The visit culminated in a formal treaty of alliance between the British and the Cherokee, the 1730 Treaty of Whitehall. While the journey to London and the treaty were important factors in future British-Cherokee relations, the title of Cherokee Emperor did not carry much clout among the Cherokee. Although Mortoy's son, Amos Cosette, attempted to succeed him as emperor in 1741, the power in the Overhill country had shifted to Tennessee, then to Chota. The unification of Cherokee Empire was essentially ceremonial, with political authority remaining town-based for decades afterward. In addition, Sir Alexander Cumming's aspirations to play an important role in Cherokee affairs failed. In 1735, the Cherokee estimated to have 64 towns and villages and 6,000 fighting men. In 1738 to 1739, smallpox was introduced. That means somebody brought it in to the country via sailors and slaves from the slave trade. An epidemic broke out among the Cherokee, who had no natural immunity. Nearly half their population died within a year. Hundreds of other Cherokee committed suicide due to disfigurement from the disease. Now, disfigurement from the disease. These people brought smallpox in on blankets. That was something, that I researched earlier in my studies. Now, war with the Muskogee Creeks. Cherokee folklore describes a conflict between the Cherokee and the Muskogees as being over disputed hunting grounds in what is now North Georgia. The last phase of the war lasted from 1753 to 1755. However, the war actually began in 1715 after the Cherokee invited all the Muskogean leaders, there was no Creek tribe then, to a diplomatic conference in the Cherokee town of Tougaloo at the headwaters of the Savannah River. At the behest of a Cherokee conjurer, the Cherokee host murdered all of the Creek leaders in their sleep, thus precipitating a 50-year-long war. The English and French maps of the period show only a very small area in the northeastern tip of what is now Georgia ever being occupied or claimed by the Cherokee. So the story of the joint hunting grounds is a myth, right? Is a myth. Later, after the Anglo-Cherokee War, the British Crown did I'm sorry, I lost my spot. Later, after the Anglo-Cherokee War, the British Crown did create a relatively small joint hunting ground in northeast Georgia, which was approximately 20 miles wide and 50 miles long. The Cherokee remember the war as a great victory for themselves as a result of the Battle of Taliwa on the Etowah River in northwestern Georgia. However, actual archives from the period tell an opposite story. First of all, northwestern Georgia was claimed by France and occupied by their Indian allies, the Apalachicola. The Muskogee Creeks were allies of the colony of Georgia and Great Britain. They never were known to have lived in northwestern Georgia or even claimed land in northwest Georgia. The word Taliwa, in fact, is not Muskogee, but Apalachicola, word for town. It is unlikely that the Muskogee Creeks, as allies of Great Britain, would have fought on behalf of Indians allied with France. French military maps of the period show all of what is now northwestern Georgia to be occupied by tribes allied with France until 1763. In fact, in 1757, a large contingent of Upper Creeks allied with France relocated from what is now north-central Alabama to northwestern Georgia to reinforce the Apalachicola. They remained in the region until 1763. Taliwa may have been burned by an overzealous Cherokee army, but it was not a Muskogee town. That battle had nothing to do with the 50-year-long battle with the Muskogees. And I just want to go back up so I can take a look at this picture. Uh-oh. And we all know the hijack is this picture. It's the commander of Fort Patrick. Henry sent Henry Timberlake on a peace mission as a token of friendship after the Anglo-Cherokee War. Timberlake later took 3 Cherokee warriors to London in 1765. Now it says evidence which refutes the Cherokee version of the Cherokee-Muskogee War is in the archives of the Georgia Historical Society. The letters and reports of Georgia colonial officials and Indian traders describe a series of devastating attacks between 1750 and 1755 on the Valley Cherokee towns in North Carolina and Lower Cherokee towns in northeastern Georgia, which left the region depopulated and being used as creek hunting grounds. One Georgia trader to the Creeks reported that the Coweta Creeks even sent boys and women into battle to mock the Cherokee before defeating them yet again. He also wrote that the Coweta Creeks maintained a place outside the town where they burned Cherokee captives. The general reliability of these reports are confirmed by a map prepared by Dr. John Mitchell in 1755, which shows all of the Valley and Georgia Cherokee towns burned and abandoned in that year. What just happened? Oh, annoying, you hear me? Okay, y'all, I think y'all heard me. If not, this is what I just read. They burned and abandoned the towns in that year. The Anglo-Cherokee War, 1759 through 61. And that's what I'm going to pick up at next go round. Peace and blessings, YouTube family. Everybody enjoy your day. And that's it.